Hi everyone, welcome back to the Reddit drama channel with another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and like the video if you enjoy it. Also, please click the notification bell so you won't miss when another cheating story goes live. These simple clicks mean a lot to our channel, and thank you for your support.
Girlfriend started talking to someone on Omegle. It was fine at first, but then. My girlfriend, 24F, and I, 26M, have been in a relationship for almost 7 years and I was planning to marry her this year. However, there are some problems. 2 years ago, basically on my birthday, in August, she started talking to some random guy from Omegle. While I am perfectly okay if she is chatting within the boundaries, I am not okay with something that crosses the boundaries. They initially started on Omegle and then moved to Instagram and Skype, and that was clearly an emotional affair. I found out because I had to fix something on her computer a few months later in December. I noticed a folder on her desktop and opened it. I saw pictures of a guy, half naked, then selfies with his face, a video where he was removing clothes but no intimate part was on it. Other media was expired in the chat, however I believe there were some sexting exchanges as well and naked photos/videos. Primarily, I thought he was a singer or an idol. But since it was very suspicious, I decided to storm into her Instagram profile and I was horrified by the conversation they had. It was probably 15 to 20 days long with all the stuff from messaging, song exchange, and photo/video exchange. There was probably sexting because the conversation led to it, but all the media was expired. I didn't read it in full, I believe it was a mistake, however from what I saw she basically fell in love with this guy for that period. Is that at all possible? After the initial few weeks, their conversation became sporadic and as I said I didn't read it in full, but there still was some messaging going on. She probably realized there is no chance in anything more than that because they had no chance to meet physically, and on top of that she comes from conservative family and this guy is of a different religion than we are. I confronted her immediately and she denied it at first but later admitted to it and was very remorseful and was crying. She said it was just a weakness and it will never happen again. I gave her another chance and so far everything is okay. However, the feeling of betrayal is still haunting me after 2.5 years. I am thinking about the future and what else she can do. My trust is somewhat gone and I confronted her again today after a few drinks. I probably hurt her feelings and I feel bad about it. I just wanted to get married and finally be done with it, however I am seriously reconsidering everything now. One part of me wants her to stay because we really had a great time, she was always helpful, however the other part of me makes me feel sick about how those things can happen and WTF is wrong with those people that decide to destroy someone like that. Any advice would be very helpful on how to improve the relationship. Here is the second story. The divorce papers were ready long before she admitted to what she did. D-Day was over a year ago after my wife confessed to a 3-month affair. I already knew she was cheating and started a draft of the divorce before she confessed. I was able to verify the details of her affair not long after. I was obviously hurt and paranoid by the affair, but I didn't show my emotions to my wife because there was no point in doing so if we were going to divorce. I was so paranoid that I got my son tested by 2 different DNA companies just to make sure he was mine. The main reason I didn't start the official divorce process was because I wanted to keep the family together for the sake of my son. My wife was and still is remorseful and started working on the marriage, but I stopped caring shortly after her affair. Then I had my own 8-month revenge affair. In order for me to have an affair, I had to come to terms with the fact I no longer loved my wife. My AP wasn't anyone close to my wife or her social circle. It didn't take long for reality to set in. I couldn't keep my family together if I was giving my attention to another woman. I confessed to my wife and answered everything she asked. We gave ourselves 2 years to try and improve our marriage, now that we are set on reconciliation. My wife says she still loves me and I want to get to a point where I love her again. I still have love for my wife because she's the mother of my son, but that's it. We still act normal around our son, but realistically I know that staying together for the sake of the kids can only carry us for so long. I'm doing the WS work and so is she, but my question is, can I love my wife again? I know I'm a hypocrite for feeling this way. Criticism needed, thank you in advance. Here is the third story. She blocked me and changed her profile photo to a photo with another guy. I'm clueless as to how to move on and I just need a place to vent my heart. So some backstory to make it easier, I've been in a relationship with my now ex-girlfriend for roughly 3 years. It was a long-distance relationship and we met online. I live in the Netherlands and she lives in the US. Not the usual love story, but I fell in love with her and I've flown to her a few times. Everything was good in my eyes, up until 2 months ago. She suddenly started to text me less and less, stopped calling me and said she was busy. Then she told me her phone was being taken away for a week and that we wouldn't be able to talk. I didn't mind. I told her I loved her and that I'd miss her. A few days later my mom called me and asked what her new profile picture was about on Facebook. After trying to look her up on Facebook, I couldn't find anything. Turns out she blocked me. The picture my mom was talking about was a picture with her and another guy. On the guy's Facebook, it said he's in a relationship with her. So I get upset and text her the picture, with "What the hell is this supposed to mean?" Suddenly she replied back, mad at me, saying that I shouldn't have stalked her on social media and that I should keep myself out of it. Eventually, after constantly asking, she told me she faked being in a relationship because her parents forced her into the relationship. She said she didn't have feelings for me anymore, but that I could try and get them back. And I did try that. It didn't work. She blocked me a few times in between, and when I asked her to at least explain why, she'd usually just ignore it and bring up something else. I tried sending her long texts with how much I love her and that I'd always be there for her, but she always read them and just didn't reply. She kept telling me that she was too busy. Yesterday I just gave up trying. I was convinced that she was the one for me and that I'd spend most of my life with her. I could have treated her better, and I'm somewhat convinced that if I did that this wouldn't have happened. I can't help but think that it's my fault. The feelings I have for her haven't gone away, but I don't know what to do anymore. I just needed to vent somewhere. I don't know what to do at this point. Here is the fourth story. She threw everything away for someone she was texting for 4 days. Me, 20M, and my ex-girlfriend, 20F, were each other's first love and first everything. We met in high school and made some amazing memories together. I consider this time with her, and other friends of mine, the best period of my life. I was happy and grateful to have these people with me. Then we entered a long-distance relationship as we went to different countries for university. We were doing good even over the long distance, talking almost every day, playing games, supporting each other, etc. However, because of COVID and some other reasons, we couldn't meet again in person. She loved me a lot too for most of the relationship. And then suddenly she broke up with me. Later I got to know the truth that she was flirting with someone in her university on text for the past 4 days, and they decided to go on a movie date. So she ditched me a day before that, saying some reasons. After her movie date, she asked the guy to get into a relationship with her, but the guy wasn't really interested in that and dumped her a week later for someone else. When I got to know the truth, it felt like my life shattered. I blindly trusted her and was shocked to see someone who loved me so much, was obsessed with spending their time with me, wanted a future with me, would cheat and try to get into a relationship with someone else so quickly. Like my mind still isn't ready to accept that she is the same girl whose hands I held when we were together in person. All of a sudden it feels like my favorite memories have been tinted, and now it hurts a lot to look back on them. Why did she have to destroy the beautiful relationship that we had for 3 years just for some guy she texted with for 4 days? It pains me and hurts so bad. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I feel similarly, though my experience is different. That feeling of betrayal does make you look at your relationship differently and makes the person feel like a stranger, like you never really knew them. But remember that what you had was real. She loved you. People do stupid things to the people they love. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.